the Supreme Court on Thursday ordered a 6-month jail term for Malvinder and Shivinder Singh in the Ranbaxy-Fortis case. It also continued the stay on the IHH open offer, and there will be a forensic audit of the Fortis IHH deal. This is not the first time the brothers have been in the news for the wrong reasons. Today's segment takes you through the dizzying heights and the spectacular fall of the once mighty empire of the Singh family of Delhi that was the force behind marquee names such as Ranbaxy, Fortis and Religare. Yes, this is the crumbling of a once mighty business empire, but this is also a very sad epitaph for a once mighty and very proud family. Bhai Mohan Singh came from Rawalpindi during the partition and started small as a contractor in Amritsar. Down the line, he acquired a small pharmaceutical company run by a pair of brothers, Ranveer Singh and Gurbakh Singh. That is where the name Ranbaxy came from. Ranbaxy did well on the strength of its two best-known brands, Campos and Sifran. But it was Parvinder, Bhai Mohan's oldest son, who took over Ranbaxy and made it truly big. At a time Indian drug makers were looking inwards, Parvinder decided to take Ranbaxy into international markets. By the time he passed away in 1999, he left behind a global pharma major. I had the chance to meet Parvinder in the 1990s, as well as his second-in-command, D.S. Brad. They dreamed up the vision for Ranbaxy to become a research-based pharmaceutical multinational out of India. Brad, especially, repeated this so many times one can still hear the phrase in his voice, research-based pharmaceutical multinational out of India. I wrote a big story for a leading business magazine in 2001 that raised the prospect that Ranbaxy could indeed become India's first MNC. At that time, Malvinder was a rookie in the company. He must have been 27 or 28 and sitting in an open cubicle in Ranbaxy's headquarters in Nehru Place, one of the more crowded office areas in New Delhi. By the time Malvinder became the big boss at Ranbaxy in 2006, when he was 33, Ranbaxy had moved to a sprawling facility in Gurgaon, where it could host the likes of Bill Clinton. But what struck you when you visited the facility was that everyone referred to Malvinder as Malav. Only the security guard at the gate referred to him as Malav Saab. But Malav Saab, not Mr. Malvinder or Mr. Singh or the boss. Alongside, the brothers created Fortis from scratch. I happened to attend its inaugural press conference. It was a small affair at a small boutique hotel in central Delhi. That must have been Shivinder's first appearance in public. He was to helm Fortis. We watched in amazement as Fortis became one of the two largest hospital chains in India from zero, and Religare became a big financial services company. What happened afterwards is the stuff of corporate folklore with not a happy ending, but many morals and lessons. Malvinder and Shivinder squandered millions of dollars, probably billions. So what are the particulars of the case in which the latest orders have come? Former Ranbaxy promoter Malvinder and Shivinder Singh have been accused of concealing information about wrongdoings at Ranbaxy when they sold a majority stake in it to Daiichi Sankyo, a Japanese firm, in 2008. Trouble was already brewing when Dinesh Thakur, the well-known whistleblower, left Ranbaxy in 2005 and reported his findings to the US Federal Drug Administration, the FDA, in 2005. But it took a few years for the lid to blow off the can of worms. It was in 2013 that Thakur's information led to Ranbaxy pleading guilty to 7 felonies in a US court and pay $500 million in fines and settlements. In 2016, the Singapore tribunal awarded Daiichi 3,500 crore rupees in damages. In 2018, the Delhi High Court upheld the arbitration order directing the brothers to pay 3,500 crore rupees to Daiichi Sankyo for misleading the Japanese drug maker during the deal by withholding information. In 2018 again, Daiichi Sankyo approached the Indian Supreme Court with the allegation that the Singh brothers were diverting funds using a number of shell companies to avoid the payments. Daiichi had also approached the Apex Court to stop a deal between Fortis and Malaysia-based IHH Group. IHH was to acquire a 30% stake in Fortis for $1.1 billion and follow it up with an open offer for 26% stake. Though the deal was signed in August 2018, the SC delayed the open offer in December that year. But this too is only the tip of the proverbial iceberg. There are other cases against the Singh brothers. In October of 2019, Malvinder and Shivinder were arrested by the Economic Offences Wing of the Delhi Police for allegedly diverting money and causing losses to the tune of 2,397 crore rupees. In 2019, the Serious Frauds Investigation Office, or SFIO, was also probing their role in an alleged fund diversion at Fortis Healthcare. After its initial probe, the SFIO had said that it believed that the fraud could be to the tune of 2,000 crore rupees. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, or SEBI, and the SFIO suspected that the Singh brothers had diverted public money from Fortis Healthcare to Gurinder Singh Dhillon, the head of Radha Swami Satsang Vyas and other religious bodies. The Radha Swami Satsang Vyas says it has more than 4 million followers worldwide. Many call Dhillon a god in human form. Dhillon is a cousin of the Singh brothers' mother and a kind of father figure to them. But somewhere the finances of the Singh family and Dhillon began to intersperse. Not just Dhillon, but others from the commune as well got involved. Its members went on to occupy key positions in the Singh Empire. In 2015, the younger brother Shivinder briefly joined the satsang full-time. Let's talk about the brothers for a moment. They used to really gel. I have interviewed them together and watched them finish each other's sentences. They enjoyed dressing alike and looked quite similar, except that Shivinder, every once in a while, gave a mighty twirl to his moustache. From there, it has been a steep journey downwards, right down to the time when the two apparently came to blows in an office in Hanuman Road near Connaught Place. And now, it's a prison term staring them in the face. Yes, this is the story about the crumbling of a business empire, but is also a story about human beings who undid the good work of 3 generations and squandered a rich legacy.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.